In April of 2014, we had a flood here in Escambia County, a little over, in places up to 26 inches of rain, significant damage throughout the county. This being a continuing problem that the flood made a whole lot worse, endangering one of our main thoroughfares and a lot of homeowners' acreage and properties.
Following the storm, Escambia County contacted the USDA's Natural Resource Conservation Service for assistance through the Emergency Watershed Protection Program, or EWP.
And the whole concept behind the EWP program is is a recovery program where we provide assistance to local sponsors after a disaster.
This is the 10 Mile Creek Stream Restoration Project, funded by the Natural Resources Conservation Service, the Emergency Watershed Protection Program. 10 Mile Creek is a classic urban stream that has too much stormwater runoff coming into it. It has caused erosion, private property as well as public infrastructure like the bridge right here at Pine Forest Road. There has been down cutting and the incising of the channel that has occurred over the years. So this project is going to use Rosgen's natural stream channel design principles to restore this stream channel as naturally as we can. What we see here behind us is where the elevation changes drastically from one side of Pine Forest Bridge to the other. There was riprap here and a drop-down structure, and as you can see from this pile of rocks, it was pretty much destroyed in the April rains of 2014. So this new design is going to create a step pool system. Instead of having one drop-down structure, it's going to be a nice transition of these step pools going from the higher elevation to the lower elevation.
If 10 Mile Creek hadn't been done, we risked losing both the bridge and a portion of the road, which is a major artery in this part of the county.
One particular product that was used throughout the project was a Fleximat Products Tide concrete block with a underlayment underneath it, and we vegetate or seed underneath it for vegetation, and let the vegetation come through and lock that in place, and using cable anchors that we would drive down in the ground approximately 10 to 12 feet, would lock into the soil beneath and hold that Fleximat in place. Also a series of log seals to hold the grade back, sheet piling walls that hold the grade back, riffles that give us an opportunity to drop the grade in the creek without losing any of the creek bed itself.
What we have here is a stone riffle and grade control structure that was built through a pool and another grade control structure, and as we go upstream we'll see there's a number of similar, there's another similar one at the upstream end of it, and several buried grade control structures between the two. And the banks of this had extensive reworking, including Tide concrete block, and in some places there's a sheet pile buried in the banks as well. I think generally the residents are very pleased with it. For a lot of them, the back parts of their property were in danger of being washed away. They were pretty much unusable, so I think it restored most of the area to a functional and stable environment.
Well, on the north side of the creek, there was a part of the bend that I lost at least 60, 70 feet of soil, probably 100 to 125 foot linear feet area that I lost that much soil that the contractors restored. And on the south side of the creek, I lost better than 80 feet of soil at the bend in the creek that was, had they not corrected it, that bend stopped being a bend. It was just heading straight for Pine Forest. And where I had close to 200 foot of land before the bend, after the storm, it was less than 100 feet. Lost quite a few shrubs, a tremendous amount of trees. Literally, I had 25 pines piled up against this bridge behind us that the county had to come with a knuckle boom and pluck out a few days later. I'm very happy with the work. I'm very satisfied with the work. I was telling Mr. Miller that his crew was very professional. You know, I was in the construction contracting business for the federal government for years, and these guys were professional. They always took the time to stop and to answer my questions, and I was asking questions the average homeowner wouldn't ask. Yeah, very happy camper. You know what, this storm, the water flow you see behind us right now, it's about the 4th or 5th good heavy rain, 6-8 inches of rain we've gotten, and it's always, it doesn't look like anything's happened after the rain goes away. I'm very happy because before they fixed this problem, every time it rained, something fell into the creek, some other tree or some other chunk of soil just collapsed. And I haven't had any of that since they finished the project.
We're a 1/4 mile upstream from the bridge at Pine Forest. This is a typical way we've treated the banks to protect the property behind the tree line. We've used tied concrete block on the slopes, adjusted the slope to a more manageable angle, and put large riprap at the toe of the slope. I think generally, in fact, in most cases here, the residents' homes were threatened by this, the erosion that was taking place, and I think they're pretty happy with the results that we've got here.
Well, we lost 20 feet out here from my property into the creek, and it kind of devastated us when we lost all the trees. That was really bad. Escambia County did a really good job.
We're standing here at Pardo's Pond. This is at the headwaters of the project. When we did the project, this pond was dry and the outside bank had been damaged. When we realigned the flow of the pond, in exchange we repaired the bank, put an overflow structure in, and it restored the water holding capability, so it became a wet pond again. Later we had to go back and add a spillway over the top to handle any sort of large events. The homeowner was extremely grateful because he hadn't had water in the pond since the 2014 storm event, and he's now able to have his grandchildren come out and fish with him out there.